Hello. Hopefully this isn't too loud music. That'll be a bit of a change. I kind of like it. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Today we're just going to be finishing off. Let me just move the camera a little bit. Our little dwarf boy there. Um, that isn't. Across the top's going to annoy me, but hey, whatever. Just going to send the link out. There you go. Hey. Oh shit! I forgot to get water. There we go. Whew. Right. So, let's see. Is it okay? There we go. So, let me just double check that I'm loud enough. I might need this to be slightly closer. We're trying a slightly different setup today, just to see how everything goes. So, you can see in there, we've sort of got the orange going for his little furnace bit. So I did that last time, or well, in the time between. We've got his skin done and his beard. So we just need to get the white done, a little bit of touch up on the silver. Tidy up the red, the paint pulls. So sometimes with washes this here can happen where it just pulls down, it's quite dark. There's quite a big blob of dark paint there that just needs to be painted over. And tidied up. Luckily it's in a spot that's kind of hard to see. I also missed a part of his beard on the inside of his pipe, so I'm going to try and just touch that up now. Oh. Let's see if we can get this lead out of the way, but... There we go. It should be a bit more stable. You don't constantly have this lead getting in the way. Yeah, that looks good. A big thumb in the way. So you can see it's really coming together. Alright, so let's see what we're doing. We're gonna tidy up his beard. Alright, just checking the message. So these new brushes I got are quite good. I'm not going to worry too much about this, just going to touch up this bit on the inside. And all we need. So I used a different wash for his beard this time around, so he looks a bit more ginger than the last time I did this. So it's a good way to start. Probably just start with the white trim on his cape and his armor. This is mostly just going to be like a detailing session. So I'll cover up anywhere where we sort of bug it up. Type's looking good. You can see there's like a little dark area in the middle of the pipe. We're going to try and keep as much of that detail as we can. Very carefully do the trim on the edge. There we go. Now we don't need to worry about touching the top again. On the brush. There we go. We might need to come back, touch up some of the areas here again, just to make sure that just went on nice and smooth. But that looks pretty good to me. I have the pot over my little marker to know where to hold them. I'm gonna get the trim on his little tunic. In general, the layering step that we're on at the minute doesn't take too long to finish. Paint coming off, so we just want to touch this up. So, if you're just getting started in painting, all you really need is all the steps that we did. So a couple of steps I did between, but where you just do the wash. Base coat is kind of the minimum that you would need, and then a wash is sort of above and beyond, and then this bit is like absolute, you're just going for your skill class, or you want something to look slightly better. Generally I would only really do a lot of effort like this on characters, like this guy, like the engineer. I wouldn't worry too much about like your rank and flanks and stuff. Yes, we tend to do this a little bit backwards compared to the other steps. Like base coating, you want to start at the lowest level of the model and work your way up to make less mistakes, cover up mistakes. This is, you want to start at the higher points, generally speaking, and then work your way down to the lower points. Because usually the lower points, as in like this bit's raised above the bit below it, normally they're a little easier to get right, the higher points, and then the lower points, because they're lower down, they tend to be darker or more shaded, so the higher points of them are easier to spot. So we've got a little bit of white on the guns to do, and then that's probably it. I'm pretty happy with his undercoat armor being a little darker. I know that was white last week. You just want to kind of hit the edges of this. Just to sort of break it up a bit. A little bit of like pseudo edge highlighting. Bring in a little bit this and here. There we go. And same on the reverse. This bit's nice and thin here. You don't want to do too much, just on the gum. That lower area just to highlight up the kind of sharp corners or the sharp edges. Okay. Then we've got this little bit here. These are little raised. I got the right point. These are like raised rivets, so we'll come back over them later with the metallic color, the grey metallic color. Touch them up, but realistically, for this, it'll be pretty quick. Hit the raised bits just to make it look the light's being caught. And we can just do a little like scratchy line across just to give it a bit of wear and tear. Color across, there we go. Then we want to do the same on the other side for the other gum. Just let me make sure this nib's still alright. Go. Just want to get the paint right on the tip. Brush. Gives us as much control as we need. Go. Dab that with our finger just to catch the excess. Just caught the raised rivet. Look at it. Too worried about those raised bits, they can be tidied up. Just fill in here. Same again, just some little scratch marks. Maybe bring across just to add some wear and tear. Something small. Small is less is more, as they always say. So that is, believe it or not, it for all the white color. I forgot to grab the copper color, but we can get that whenever we get. So done with that. Next, we'll do the red. Let's give it a good shake. Oh. This we won't need a whole lot of, just sort of on the raised bits on his model. Good. Got that. So where his knee is tight here, a little bit. Make it look stretching, so you just paint that down. Follow the sort of fabric. And just to follow the fabric. This bit's stretched here. Fold here, so just the raised bits on each side. It's kind of just a cheat for cloth. This is, you really just want to sort of imagine it stretching. Kind of like how it would fold and stretch. Games Workshop are quite good with their sculpts on this, so a lot of the time you're just sort of following the way they've sculpted it. Like here they've sculpted like quite a nice line to follow there. You don't want to go too deep into the recesses or too far down, because for cloth doesn't really follow light that way. A little tight bit in there. Fabric's nice and tight. Oh. And then here. careful not to get too much on the leather. So the lower bit we're okay with it being dark. Again, we just want to follow the way they've sculpted this. The folds are just on the edge of the folds. You can sort of blend it in a little bit. Then we just get his other leg, roughly about where his knee would be. Again, same thing, just around there, and then sort of pull it down, and from up, pull it down. There you go. That's it. So again, this is probably quite hard to see on camera because it's red on red, but we've really got the kind of shape of the cloth followed here. So we're quite happy with that. It's a fast one generally. Again, this step is quick, so we're probably going to get onto the building of some duders. I have the torsos and the legs done, so it'll just be the weapons that we stick on whenever we get to the building bit, but there's a lot of silver on this model. We don't want too much of this lighter silver colour. We can put on some scratches and dings with it. Listen. But in general, we don't want to go too far on this. It's more of a shake-up. There we go. So for this step, we're just going to look for the raised up areas of silver. We just want to pick them out. So this little bit here. Won't be a whole lot of them. Mostly just be rivets, maybe some of the shoulder pad. I tend not to like going too bright with it. It's got a little ring here, and we're just going to paint that shiny metal. This finger, just whenever we put the gem technical color on, it'll get caught with the color and shine through and look a little shinier, which is nice. As I said, it's mostly just going to be these rivets that we want to get picked up. Generally, unless it's like jewelry or something, you tend not to really want to bring your silver up too bright. So, one thing you could do is if you had a sponge, you could dab a little bit of silver on the sponge, dry it off, and then go across all the metal surfaces. And that would add like a scratchy kind of like effect, and I tend to find that works a little better with 40k models. Obviously you still get like wear and tear in fantasy settings, so not like it's the worst thing, but I don't know. I think it just looks a little better with like a futuristic, in the futuristic setting. I think in this, everything being slightly dull and tarnished, looking is a little better, IMO. Don't really like highlighting metal too much. Again, less is more, tends to be. So you don't want to hit too much of your shine. So it's like we want to hit details like triggers and anything delicate would probably be like a shinier metallic-y color. It's probably okay. rivet there. We just want to differentiate from the gold. There. These bits here. The triggers and the trigger pins. The rivets on this side. A whole lot of rivets on this side, so sorry. Up we come. There's quite a lot of like fine detail stuff, so you might find that I have accidentally covered up a lot of the model with my big fat thumb, so please feel free to yell at me in the chat whenever that happens. It's just easier because I'm bringing it up, so I'm sort of not thinking about where my thumb is. Looks like there's a couple spots for gems on the back here, so we'll just very start with some of the silver where we want the gems to go. Chances are I'll probably miss this whenever I'm doing the gemify step, but then there's only little, yeah, there's little rivets in here. Messy there, but not too much hassle. Not too much hassle. A little hinge, we might as well. Through here, which will just silver. And then up here. Herb. There we go. Now we'll just do the front. I think there's a couple more. Yeah. There. That last edited video we did was pretty good. Me and Kyle playing Briskerian. Probably. I just haven't recorded anything yet for the new stuff, but I have been playing the new stuff. I got new character. The unlock one. And she's pretty fun, the drifter. There we go, I think that looks... Oh, there's a couple more. Let's try. There we go. So, just a little bit pink, because it's not that much. See? Quite coming off the way I want it to. It's such annoying. Oh, yeah. There we go. That is... Oh, yes. Another part of his weapon that should be quite bright is this blade. This lower section, we just want to very carefully follow the sculpt here to the part that is sharpened. Go. See, the sharpened part of the metallic blade will be brighter than the rest of it, and we just want to follow the sculpt. Can't really see, not really showing because it's quite such a shallow cut sculpt. In the mini, there's a nice little line to follow, sort of tapers down. Very good. So there, does that clear to see? There, so you see the way it sort of comes to a point. Follow that line on the menu when you paint it, and it just gives you this nice. When you turn it, you can see his axe blade is sharp. Over the light, just catches the light slightly differently whenever you move him about. And it looks quite nice on the battlefield. I generally do this with all the minis I paint. They'll make their weapons sharp on the tapered edges, so that it catches the light nicely when you rotate them. Let's see, what do we got left? Gold, and then the flesh highlight, and then I want to do orange and a little bit of copper. So I'm quite happy with how he has come out thus far. He's nice, and he's a nice reddy model, as in he's got a lot of red in his colour scheme. So it's quite a nice difference from the other models that I've done. Hey Kyle. How's you? I'm good, yeah. Can they complain? I'm just going to do the gold here, just on some of the lower detailed parts of the little tummy crest that he has there. Yeah, but I've been good. Excited for, they announced that the new expansion for Classic WoW is coming out in January or thereabouts, so pretty hyped for that. Can't wait to play a Blood Elf again. Honestly, probably my favourite race in Warcraft is the Blood Elves. I was saying earlier that video I uploaded with me and you in it was pretty good. Very good numbers compared to the last couple edited. The last couple of edited videos weren't as I think the Dwarf Fortress one got like 30 views or something, so I was a little bit like, it's never stuff like that happens, you're just like, I'll just stop uploading for a bit. And then I uploaded this, and then like I was saying to you, whenever I went to bed it was at like what was it, like 9 views or something whenever I went off, and then whenever I woke up the next day and checked it, it was at like 200 or something for the new video, so I was very chuffed with that. So I just need to get a Alloyed Collective video out. I have been playing the Drifter. She's pretty fun. I like the ability. I don't know how much you've seen, but one of her abilities is she jumps up and like puts boys in her bag, and then you can just beat people to death, depending. Jumped up really quick. You can just like catch them and then beat other people to death with them while they're in your bag, and like the weight of the boy determines how much damage you do, I think, or like how much loot you get off of it. You get like a bunch of it's honestly, it's one of the most ridiculous characters I think I've seen them add in a long while. It's nuts. It's so much fun. Yeah, yeah. I was like, I anytime the little stone boys would spawn, the little stone golem guys, I would leap at them like a frenzied animal, hook him up in a bag, and then just toss him off the cliff. And I just chuck him off the side. It was just like, oh my god, I was having so much fun. So yeah, I think I'll record the next time I play. I'll probably record. I have an idea for what kind of items she would want, but to be honest, it's like the epitome of like chaos. Because you get all the temporary items you can make yourself, so there's like no consistent build that makes her good. It's just do whatever you want. Just it's so funny. The best the best companion I think I found, or like the best like thing I find, is the little um, temporary item generating drone that you can get, the little scrap bot. He's so fun. I can imagine. And like it was one of the things, like you see a big Lemurian, you run up and you grab him. Oh, I didn't know that. I guess obviously because we haven't played um, multiplayer yet in the new game. That sounds like fun. Is it you just possess a drone that already is there, or how does it work? Oh, so it is just you possess one of the drones that's there. Nice, that's so funny. I played the new character, the other new character, the what is he called? The drone smith guy. That's so funny. I hope that you get to take one over, because if you could just take over like the big lad, that's so much fun. The like the new guy with the drones is so fun. I was watching a video on it, and the guy was like, "Oh, sometimes it's a bit annoying because you start looking for where the other drones are, so you can jump between them." And I was like, I don't know, I didn't have that problem, because what you can do is all you do is you use your right click, which sends the drone you have stored off, and they always fly like right in front of you. So what happens is you just make sure you shoot it, and then flip after you've shot your right click. You just flip forward and then grab onto the drone you just shot out. It was super easy. I had no trouble staying in the air. And after a while, you just get like such a big swarm of drones. It's no matter where you look during the boss fight, you're going to be looking at one of your own drones. So, oh god, I forgot about this color. Is this salvageable? Nope, no, it is not. Okay. Well, we're not highlighting his beard today. It's annoying. Hello. So what did I do? I went and grabbed the copper color. So I wanted to highlight his beard there, but there's no beard to, or no paint to highlight. It just went super funny. I just need a big shake. But yeah, newer screen stuff, great, love it. What else? I've been playing a bunch of Binding of Isaac recently as well, so I might record some of that. It's a lot of fun. So we don't want to go too nuts with the copper. I think we just want to hit this pipe. Just this glorious area. As I've said a couple of times, less is more. I'm alright with his pipes being shiny, but I think I like the dullness of this bit. Got my head up now. Thanks. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this has come out. The red and the white. It is. I was thinking about it after the fact, but he does look like a 40k AdMech tech priest because it's literally their color scheme is the white and red. Just bring it up. So, yeah, he is very like 40k-esque color scheme, but I think it works. It is, yeah, I like it too. It is good. I can see why they pick it. Yeah, oh god, those Isaac videos. The one that always makes me laugh is the where I'm playing as tainted Cain and I'm walking around lifting the bag above my head. That like edit where I put in the what's he doing, man? What's he up to? It makes me laugh to this day. Didn't need a whole lot of copper there, so just touching up the pipes a bit. So last step for the main mini is, well, we've got a little bit of like, I don't think I'm going to use it, but there's like a super red highlight we could stick on, but I don't think we need to. So we're just going to get his flesh done, and then I think it's just the base left to highlight, and then we're not, well, not done. I have the gems to do. This is just the bright flesh tone, so I use the Gilliman Flesh technical paint, or what's it called? Contrast paint to do this. Oh, Creed Death Riders, very nice. 30 of them? Oh my god. That seems like a lot. I've been out of 30k, or 30k, I've been out of 40k for a while, so I don't know, is that normal? 30 of them? That seems like a lot. I assume they're the horsey boys, right? The Death Riders? Or am I misremembering my 40k? We just want to hit the higher parts of his muscles. He's got exposed anywhere where light would be hitting is sort of the thought process here. Sorry, he's a bit grimy. I also picked this rock like background music. It made me laugh whenever I put it on. So I was just like, you know what, we'll stick it on because I kind of like this like, 80s synth style stuff. So it's been my favorite. Epic style rock, love it. We had jazz last week, and the other weeks we've had lo-fi. I thought this would be a nice little change. Horsey boys, yeah. They're nice sculpts. I like a lot of the Krieg stuff. I'm glad they took them out of Forge World Limbo. I don't know, is the... You have to tell me, I suppose, but is the like original Forge World Krieg boys, are they still all up on Forge World? Like the termite drill and stuff that they used to have? Very, very carefully, you just want to pick out each finger there. Or just fill this bit. And fill McCracken, we say. There we go. That's his hand done. Just put this up. I like the Forge World stuff. To be honest, I think Forge World is like back in the day. Forge World was like so impressive to me. Like all the Krieg stuff. What else was really good? The Chaos Dwarf stuff that they had on there. I loved the old Chaos Dwarf Infernal Guard with like little dome helmets. They were so sick. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Trying to think what else was really good. Check something. So is this color? No. That should be good for highlight. Yeah, no, it's that's the thing about Forge World. It's like you maybe get like one unit off Forge World. Maybe like you get a like a dreadnought or something maybe if you're playing, or like one tank. But yeah, you'd never get like a squad of guys because the squad of guys is like way too much money. I think I have. Well, I have some of the Horse Heresy Forge World models. I have the Horse Heresy Lion and the Horse Heresy Constantine Valdor. I haven't painted them yet. They're up there on my to-do list whenever I eventually get a hankering to play 40k again. Or at least paint 40k. And then the only other Forge World mini I think I've ever had is one of the jet bikes that you get, but you have to buy 3 of them, and it's like £20 a jet bike. I got one Christmas. My brother got me one of the jet bikes, thinking that you could run one of them. I was like, why else would they sell them in sets of 1? Unless you could run them in one, but no, you need to have 3, which is a bit ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely. Have a little hunt about it. You might be able to find some of the older stuff, like because of the plastic Forge World stuff, or Forge World, the plastic Krieger stuff. You can absolutely like just pick up like a command squad or something, maybe for like Christmas, get it as a present, just to sort of have some weirder models for your collection. There's no need to though, because the plastic stuff's good enough, to be honest. Painted your first Space Marine, came out great. That's great. What color did you paint it? Did you make your own chapter, or did you pick one of the prescribed ones? My favorite is Dark Angels. Oh, Australia, yeah. Bloody hell. Yeah, Australia is not good for Warhammer. That's a bummer. I did get a recommendation from a guy the other week so if you want some cheaper stuff, you don't mind, because I had a look at some of it. As long as you don't mind like reprints or like re-sculpts and stuff, you can get some pretty cheap stuff on Temu. It's just like re-sculpted stuff. It was like Land Raiders and stuff that I saw. I wasn't looking for Guardsmen, but I imagine there probably is some up there if you want some of it. It was like Land Raider, if you buy it off Games Workshop, it's like £50. Probably more actually today, but on Temu it was like £10, and it's like just sort of a little off. Yeah. The slower you go with painting, the more it pays off. There's no need to rush it. You tend to do better if you take your time with stuff. I think that's the model done. So the actual mini is finito. I think we're happy with this. I love his little pipe. Beard. I'm sad I couldn't get his beard highlighted, but such is life. So we're just going to finish up the base, and then we will get crafting some wood elves. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought of it either. It was a stream the other week. Some Scottish guy popped in and said that he bought a Land Raider for like £10, and I was like, what? That's ridiculous. This is Old World Warhammer Fantasy Dwarves. So I have some stuff there. It's all dwarf stuff, but over here, so this is the other week. I meant to show this at the start, but I got this finished up the other day. I'll take it apart because I can't show it all of it at once. Too big. Here's my little gyro bomber. I got the balloon all tidied up. I got the red tidied up just with my new brushes because my old brushes were absolutely embarrassing me the other week whenever I was painting this. This was on stream a couple weeks ago. If you want to see the base coating, how to do that as well, here's the base. So this is the scheme for the bases. So dwarves, underground, caves is what I was thinking with this. So mushrooms, stalagmites, the rocks. So this guy doesn't have anything too spooky on his base, it's just a couple of rocks and a cog that he's standing on. I'll show you how to do the lion's share of what the base is. Yeah, this is just Warhammer Fantasy Dwarves. This is a collection I have had from... I'm 32, so for 20 years I've had these models and I haven't bothered painting them until like recently. So don't be worried about your pile of shame, you will eventually get to it. What I'm doing now is I'm just going to dry brush very lightly over the base, just pick up the stones. I'll show you. It looks like we're definitely going to get to the building part today, which I didn't think we were going to get to, but we are. It's kind of worried this is going to take forever, but we've sort of blasted through this. Yeah, there isn't a whole lot of paint, so what you want to do is you want to get the paint on with a dry brush and then just get most of it off until whenever you paint over it, it's just barely coming off the brush, and if you need more, you just go back into that bit there. And just very lightly over the top. Kind of catch all the little details that we've put onto the base. So if you're new, you might not be doing this. What is good is Games Workshop have technical paints that they sell. That is like battle, they call it, well, the one I use a lot is Sterling Battle Mire. And it's like a tub of brown paint with little chunks of foam in it. You just scoop it up, spread it on the base. Whenever it dries, it'll look like mud. I recommend if you do that, paint the base brown first and then put the mud over it. Just because sometimes it doesn't always, when it dries, it'll sort of clump itself up and you'll be able to see through to the black base or whatever base coat you've used base. There you go, that's it. Consider how you do that. So when you get a bit better, just a little bit of PVA glue, dip it in some sand. So I have a little tub of sand. I have two different types, of course, which is what this is, and then that was fine. And whenever you spray it, it'll add a little bit of texture to the base, which is quite nice. And yeah, you can use PVA glue for that. You can get most hobby shops or what else? Like literally anywhere. I think you can go to Tesco's and buy it. Any like supermarket that has sort of craft supplies will have PVA glue, like a little tub of it for you. It does take about 8 hours to dry, so if you are doing it this way, you have to commit to putting sand on all the bottom of the bases, waiting 8 hours, and then spray painting them. But normally, I mean, I'm never really in much of a rush after building. What have I left to do? Gemstones. So this won't take too long. There's only about 4 or 5 gems he's got on him. These are quite good. The Games Workshop, again, this is all branded stuff, but I like the Citadel paint range because it's the paint range I learned how to paint with. So generally, it's for me the more familiar one to use. And then what's nice is you only ever need 2 of the colors. If you get, I think they sell red, yellow. They sell for like every gem color you could want, but all you need is red and blue. You can make pretty much any color gem apart from yellow. Yeah, there's his ring on his finger, these 3 little things here, and then his periscope that he's got, or his little eye lens. So we'll break it up. Oh yeah, absolutely. It you level up whenever you start putting a little bit of sand or something on your mini. Fine sand is good. There is a technique called serialing it, where, because PVA glue is white, so you put PVA glue on, you put the sand on, and then you put another layer of PVA glue on over the layer of sand that you just put down, and it looks like a bowl of cereal, and that's why it's called serialing. And I've done that with my elves, but I'll show you in a minute how that looks. And you do that just to smooth out the sand, so if you want the texture but you don't want it to be as coarse. It also adds a little bit of protection, because sometimes these stones, because these aren't serialed, but if you brush them, sometimes the sand will come off. It's just, not stuck in the glue all the way. I should have done blue on that ring to differentiate his skin's too red, but what I will do is I'll make it purple. Just to kind of split up the colour, because he's very red coated at the minute. There we go, that's a little blue gem there on his clutching jig and his little lens. I'm going to do this before I do the ring. Just want to give the impression that it's made of glass, that little lens he's got there. And then I keep getting it on my finger. Get this bit blue. We'll make a nice little purple ring just to kind of break up the redness that he has, sort of as you look front on. He's very red heavy. His little grip on his mace is purple. Got red jeans, a red tunic, orange beard, and the handles on all his guns are reddy brown. There we go. That is him done. I'm going to do, actually, just while I remember, I'm going to very quickly do the coal highlight, but I don't know if this will show up on camera. I tried to show it earlier. The little if you can see in there, it's like orange colored, like coals that he's supposed to be burning. It doesn't really show up very well. We'll try a bit here. So we want to do a little bit of red. So I started with orange because it's the middle color. So red is what the color we want sort of at the bottom. We want the glue to be orange. Makes sense. We just want to touch a little bit of red just towards the bottom of this orange color that we've got at the coals. Just towards the bottom because it should be warmer. I might need to do afterwards. I'll maybe go in and put a little bit of a wash over it just to sort of help blend it a bit. But I have to wait until the paint dries before we do that, so that'll be off camera stuff probably. And then the higher point, we want this yellow color. So obviously it goes red at the lowest point for the embers, then orange, then yellow. But if you start with the middle, whenever you add the red and the the yellows. Red at the bottom, yellow at the top. The orange, because it's orange is red and yellow, helps you blend them, so it'll make it like a little, like it's gradually transforming into like the yellow color. Is the idea anyway. Oh. We don't want to be too aggressive with the yellow either. To help us blend. Yeah, I think that looks okay. It might need a little either dip of orange in the middle there, what I can see, but again, I'll have to wait until it's dry. But I think we're. Oh yeah, that's looking good. And I don't know if it's coming through too well on the camera. You see the red, and then it goes into the yellow, and then what you can do is I can get a yellow, like a light yellow, and just edge highlight around the rim of this little grill, just to give the idea that there's like a fire in there that's sort of casting out light. I will get an example. There he is. So this is a little different in that there's no red on this, but it's an orange color on the bottom, and then you paint the yellow up. And you can see his little lantern. I've done like a little yellow glow around it. As well as that, there's on the pickaxe I tried to have a little bit of the light go off just to try and get some object source lighting practice in. The top of his knuckles have I forgot to do leather. Oh well, pick that up later. Yeah, the top of his knuckles there have a little bit of yellow on them, just to catch the light from there's a little candle will be burning. Oh yeah, there's a whole. I have 7 other dudes, 7 other miners that all have OSL. I think he probably came out the best. Maybe the standard bear might be slightly better than him. But for showing what I'm trying to do with that guy, I think that should be good enough. Yeah, so that is a dwarf. So if you want to see how to do the base coating, at least for the darker colors, the red shades, check out last week's stream, the VOD. It's a little longer, goes over more of how to do the base coat correctly. Then I did the beard and the skin off camera. I think I also did part of the glow off camera. The coals. But yeah, that was start to finish, more or less. I think I've shown other steps on camera before. I don't think I've ever done a wash step on camera, but it's the way I do it is very messy. I will just put the entire thing from top to bottom, just wash it. Like you may as well just dunk the mini the way I do it. I think we're done painting, so we'll get to what time is it? Right? Yeah, we've got an hour, sort of. Oh, there we go. Yeah, an hour. Yeah, we'll go for another hour, or at least until I get called away, because I'm expecting to get called away here not too much longer. But I did think that this wasn't going to take too long, so I did go grab some stuff and get some stuff started, just so I'm not sitting making bodies. Yeah, we've got some Eternal Guard that we're going to be building up. I won't show the clip-in on screen, but I'll show some of the build process for it. But yeah, I have all the torsos built up. We've got 10 torsos here. And yeah, we'll just finish them up. So I haven't done the base yet, so I have some... Sorry, just getting a bit too close. Where are you? Where is he? There he is. I got the Wildwood Ranger, so I got the like start box for the elves. So this is the champion for the Wildwood Rangers, and they're not on bases yet because I want to. It's a good one to show this one. So this is what happens whenever you serial the sand. So I used. Hold on, let me get the camera up here. So yeah, so it's more like a rubbery because it's obviously PVA glue on top. Whenever that dries, it turns into like the plasticky substance. Seals in the sand. And it still gives you a texture, a nice texture on it. So whenever you paint, there'll still be stuff to dry brush over, but it's slightly more sealed in, so it will look a little less sandy and a little bit more earthy whenever you do it. And as well, you see this green stuff here. I have a rolling pin that does a texture for cobblestone. So I want to get a bunch of green stuff, cobblestones all rolled out and then put over their bases. And then put the sand down, get it pasted, and then put them on top. So they'll end up... Anyway, my arm is blocking the mic. So they'll end up like this archer. So you see there. So I've glued the archer on top of the sand rather than they're on the base, and then I put the sand on, which is how I did my dwarves. Yeah, geez, good example. So the dwarves are, their feet are sort of buried in the base a little bit. I got interrupted there, but what did I say? Yeah, so the dwarves are like, they're sort of all kind of embedded in the dirt a little bit. It's hard to see there. But anyway, I can show this. Which I think works for the dwarves because they're supposed to be heavier. And then the elves being lighter, or I want to give the impression that they're lighter, and then being on top of the dirt, which is not as like they're not sort of sinking into the soil as much. It's kind of the impression I'm going for. It's, I don't know. We'll see how it looks. It might be something that if I ever get any after I do this army, I get it all base coated and sort of started painted, I might just change my mind and never do it again. Just because it takes a bit of time and it's a bit of a pain in the ass to do. It might just be easier to have them all on the bases and then do it that way. But I want to try it this way first just to see. I know there's a lot of people who that's how they do their basing. They'll base it separately and then whenever they're done, they finish the whole painting step, then they'll put the model on the base. I don't mind the model being on the base while it's getting painted. I think that's a bit of an extra, that's a bit of a time waste. But yeah. Let's go. I don't know how this is going to show up on stream. It might be very boring. just me following instructions on how to snip things and then put them together. So that's all the bodies. We actually don't need this page. Yeah. Should I show the constructions? I guess I'll show the constructions. How big he is. I keep looking at him and catching him. It looks really good. You can sit there, you can watch. You can be angry about us making elves, so I'll put this here. What's fucking doing? So we got a champion, musician, and standard bearer, so we'll start that off. These are the things you're going to need: clippers, a file, and some glue. Let's see. This is always the fun part, is you're trying to find where the fuck his sword is. There. So as well, I bought the archers like years ago, and I bought them whenever they discontinued uh, wood elves. Because I was like, oh, you know what? These might be worth something one day. I'll buy like a cheap unit of archers and a character just to have like, because in case I ever want to start a wood elf army, because I always wanted to, never got around to it. Then they got rid of it, and I was like, oh, I guess I've missed my chance. And then so I just bought some stuff on eBay. And then whenever I was looking at stuff, I figured out that if I keep the sprue, so I'm going to be using the spears, so this bit here. But I'll have all these like swords for the Wildwood Rangers that you can build. And where did I put the? Did I put them back with his buddies? I did. And I was like, oh, you get all these extra swords, and then I was like, I could just take the swords, some of the arms, and stick them on the archers, because I don't need all the archers in the box, so that gives you the start collecting out of the battalion box. So I was like, why don't I just take all the extra bits and then make 10 extra guys for the Wildwood Rangers, and have extra sword guys? And I was like, hell yeah! So I'm doing that. So that's the plan anyway. We'll see how far we get. Because I have to do a little bit of surgery on some of them because they're going to be posed slightly weird. But I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to snip them into behaving. So it looks like he doesn't have a special helmet. Maybe he does. Ah, yeah, he does. This guy here. There we go. I'm sure everybody's built their own. Well, not necessarily everybody, but I'm sure some people have built their own models and they have their own little touch. So I use clippers and they always leave these little bits of spray. I hate it. So I've gotten into the habit, even in 40k, this is how I do stuff. If it wasn't under a box of stuff, I'd show you some of my Tyranids. But I spent like, takes me an hour to build stuff, especially in 40k, and especially in like the start collecting boxes. Because I go in and I just get all the little bits of snipping off from me doing it, and then if you look, you generally will see mold lines, which definitely won't show up on camera, but it's like just where the mold is, so where it touches the little line and where the mold is, that shows up on the model. And the older the printer that they use, or like the mold that they use is, the more obvious it is the mold lines are there. So if you get like a really new kit, chances are there won't be a lot of mold lines, so you actually save yourself a lot of time whenever you do stuff like that. And generally the way it works is they'll for like individual kits, like specialized kits, the mold will be a little better than like the start collecting boxes, because they mass produce the start collecting ones, so it melts way quicker, and then the mold lines sort of show up really early. So unless you're getting like sent an early copy of a print, you probably are going to get mold lines in like a start collecting box, because they're all like push to fit models, which is just sort of like a general thing. So I recommend, if you don't have one already, get a file and just get into the habit of doing this. It means whenever you're painting, you don't get those like weird nubs when you're going through. And like the mold lines and the flash lines and stuff, they drive me mad whenever you're painting, and then it's like two different colors because there's like a little seam, between them, so it looks like a big like weird vein on someone's arm or something. It honestly drives me mental. So let's see, lady body, body. This and yeah, I think I filed everything down. What I missed now? Yep, now the fun part. As with everything, if you take a little extra time whenever you're building your models or you're building your painting or anything, there needs a bit. I'll try and get it while they're in pieces like this because that's likely to break apart. This is just specialized like model plastic glue you can get. It's very, very good. I recommend it. Hit the way they sculpt the hands. There we go. And then we do shield arm. So this isn't as strong as super glue, but it's specifically made to work with this type of plastic, acrylic plastic. So it'll bond it really tight. And you very rarely ever, like I don't think I've ever had a problem where like arms or heads or anything just pop off like we can with super glue sometimes. You do not need a lot of this, and it dries quite quickly. So generally, just do that. A little bond. Oh yeah. There you go. Whenever I do stuff like this, I always like to do the head last. You can figure out like where he's supposed to be looking based on where his sword is. This head does not like the shield. Change this up a bit. Make sure it's stuck in there. There we go. Bring the shield down a bit. Yeah, it hasn't dried, but it has bonded the plastic together quite nicely, so it'll let you sort of maneuver it about a bit. Sometimes whenever you do that, it can pop out, and you have to put a little bit extra in, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Next is Musiken. Let's see. He's weird. I want to build them with shields. I guess I could. 23C. Ugh. 23C is this boy. Where are my clippers? Oh, that's right. I saw yesterday that just because of my love of internet drama, Casey Tron settled with Ethan Klein in her little video that she had to do. It was very funny. Where she had to apologize to Asmongold. I thought that was hilarious. Let's see there. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things, like, you just... Who would just go on to talk shit on the internet, you know what I mean? Like, the best bit was, like, the Hassan, where she had to say that Hassan Piker hasn't given her any money. I don't know what it is, I'm just obsessed with... I'm like Sam Hyde, I'm obsessed with your man Piker at the minute. I just cannot stop thinking about it. I just want to beat him up. I don't probably the puka shell necklaces. Yeah, obsessed. Can't. And anytime something bad happens to him, and it's like anything bad. Like he goes to China, they spell his name wrong on the sign, and then he gets like furious. Have you seen that? Like they spell his name as Hassan Pike, and then he's like absolutely fucking livid about it. It's so funny. He's such a like. He's so I don't know. It's so hard to believe he's older than me. The way he acts, he's like. He's not even that much older than me. He's like around my age. I think he's like 3 or 4 years older, and it's like I just cannot wrap my head around like how he acts the way he does, like and how he gets away with it. I'm just snipping off some of the extra on the circular or the rounded like, spear handles and stuff. It's really annoying to do this file and stuff because it doesn't always snip correctly, and I'm always worried that I'm gonna fucking break it. He's so funny. It's just his reactions to like the most mundane thing, like a Chinese person who doesn't speak English spelled his name wrong, and his like reaction to it is so hilariously like petty and petulant. It's like there's no understanding of like someone else's circumstances at all. He is like the typical like sociopath like case study. Like there's no humility, there's no like I think that's probably what it is. That's why I'm fascinated. He's like not a real person. Like he's not a real human. He's like got this sorry, I just realized you were looking at my hand and not the mini. Which part is this? So this bit holds the spear. Okay. They're holding the spear. Oh, I forgot to get a shield. I'll grab a shield in a second. They're like holding the spear from the bottom. There's a bit of flash there. This like mold line here. It's called flash. Sometimes it's called mold line. Sometimes it's called flash. Flash is typically more associated with like metal minis. But I think anybody that would jump down your throat calling it flash on a plastic mini is a bit of an asshole. So you just want to get rid of it, just to make it, whenever you're painting the mini, you don't have like a weird like dividing line. Sometimes if you're new, especially my first army was the Battle of Skull Pass, Orcs and Dwarves. And I think a lot of my minis have that like mold line because it was a mass production kit. And it's so bad. Whenever you look and then you realise that you've painted like a big bit of the spray that just got like snipped onto their heads or something, it's funny. It's funny looking back at it, but whenever you're like painting it at the time, you're like, oh god damn it. It's really annoying. So it is, to me, it's always worth taking a little extra time whenever you're building the mini, just to reduce the, like the mold lines and like flash painted stuff, or flash your mini. So I'm just gonna move something here out of the way. What else happened recently? I saw what was his name? Mr. Kiff, Ms. Kiff he was on stream and he was talking about like some of the Emeru stuff again, and he was like on with his new girlfriend who's just another Asian lady. So everybody was like, all you've done is traded the Asian woman, like you've traded one Asian woman for another. You refuse to learn from anything that he did. He's another one, like it's the same thing, it's just like there's like no, I don't know, it's like no self-reflection at all. Like, oh, I got a bit of hair stuck in there. The downside of having very thin hair is that it it's stuck in the glue all the time. fuck is this? Like this bit here. Look what that is. I can see where it's meant to go. There. There we go. Is it meant to cover his hand? I think it's meant to go like there. That looks right. We'll have to see. This is one of the lady heads it is. What's annoying with this kit is they have 5 like lady bodies, 5 men bodies. And it's not always clear what head is which because they've all got long hair. I think the idea is that they're supposed to be like a little bit and it's going to be quite heavy, so I'm going to have to hold this for a second. So it shouldn't really matter what way around you do it. But some of them are definitely more feminine heads. Games Workshop is a real problem, even in the modern day, with head sculpts not being particularly flattering for women. They have very ugly female head sculpts. There's very few that actually look nice. And I don't even, it's not even like a modern day problem. I mean, it's like a problem that Games Workshop have had from their first ever minis, is that they've never really been able to get like female heads correct. They always either look like melted plastic, or they're like, it's frumpy woman, the model. It's very funny. There's no in between. It's like melted head or just generally not that pleasant to look at. I think the only sculpt that is like a consistent win for Games Workshop is their skeleton sculpts. The way the skeletons look are always the best, I think, skeletons in the game. Like, no model making company has ever got close to making a skeleton as good as the way Games Workshop make them. And that's been true from the inception, I think. Of like, their model making, their undead tend to be a bit better. They're very good at skulls. But just snipping out the flag for the flag bearer. Flag. There's an arm that goes with it. Yeah. Oh yeah. These guys use the heart. Opener of Arkham, look upon the heart. This is like the same fucking song 3 different times. Swap it up. Sort of more like what I used to put on. That's way too quiet. Oops. It's like some generic Nintendo. Did I get the other arm? No, I didn't. 14A, 14A. I see 13. Oh, there's 14. So just being careful whenever you snip is Is it recommended you have to file less if you're slightly more cautious about it? Then a head. What kind of body am I going to use? You're a man body. In general, I think the men heads are the same. They did this like stopping the like monotony of the models in an interesting way in this, where it's like there's two of every. Oh god, the glue is like dripping really bad on this. If you get glue like this, make sure you put the cover on between these. Listen, oh yeah, so like to stop the models looking the same, instead of giving you like 10 different bodies, you have 4 different body types. Well, I think it's 6 different body types, but 4 of them are doubled. And then you get 10 unique heads, so and the kit builds into 2 different like Wildwood Rangers and Eternal Guard. So you get 20 extra heads, and they're each unique, so there's no like the heads don't double up, which is a good way to do it, because honestly if the head is fine if the bodies repeat, but as long as the head doesn't repeat, you're in general lying a little bit. Let's see, is there any obvious? There. So we just want to get like anywhere it's sort of see the snips. File them off. I think it is supposed to be like a little differentiated, but it looks like there's a bit of more line there. Then I think there's one more bit in there. You can see sometimes it like flattens it because you're filing it down and it'll just like stick it. That's sort of okay looking. It's not so bad. Whenever it's tiny, you don't really notice it. But whenever it's like a bigger bit, it can be a bit more notable. We're not putting a lot of pressure on this. We're just letting the you let the file do a lot of the work whenever you do this. I did have a really good file. But this was like thin and one end was rounded, so if you needed to get in somewhere without breaking stuff, it was the best one I've ever had, and I have no clue where it went. It disappeared. To the point where I think I left it out one day, somebody in my playgroup saw it and just sort of pocketed it maybe, or like knocked it into their bag on accident. You never know, but it's one of those things where it's like, why did this go missing? I didn't do anything different with it. Or maybe like a gnome came and nicked it. You never know. Oh holy shit, where are my Streamlabs? Yeah, generally I find it's easier to build the like arms up separately. Then glue it on, like just to get, it gives you, it's easier to hold and you're not like fiddling with like trying to get little tiny bits like this heart on. There we go. This and there's also, this must be like a slightly more recent kit that they put together. Obviously, like by recent I mean like in terms of before they discontinued Wood Elves and stopped printing it. It's quite a lot of the the way it's sculpted, it's very like just click, 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 which is good and bad. So it's good when it's your first time building the kit. Whoa. Tried to throw the flag away there. It's good when it's your first time building the kit because you obviously only have one way to like put it, or you want like one way to put it together. I'm sort of in the collector mindset of I like to have. I think I used a different body to the one I picked out, but it doesn't really matter. I like generally to have like one of everything. The like start collecting bundles for this, or even just the way they do the kits now for these, where you get effectively 2 units in the one kit. It's quite nice. Because it means I can build 10 of one, half of one unit, half of the other unit, and then you can just put them together on the tabletop. Most people don't really care if the back half of your unit is the other option from the same kit. I want to kit bash some extra Wild Rangers just so I have more swords guys, but I'm not too fussed. If I try to do it and it doesn't work out, then it didn't work out. Oh, I can give him a shield. I think he looks better without it, to be honest, the Banner Boy. Was it time? Oh yeah, so just the way I like to build is I generally like one of each thing. Yeah, so now I have to 2 times for each. And I'll have one spare, which is fine. You got 7 guys to click together. So just the newer way that they sell the models is better. I think Old World at the minute, because it's a lot of older kits that they're using for stuff, a lot of the new kits are very expensive and a lot of the older kits are very cheap comparatively to like other games, like especially like Horse Heresy and stuff. That seems to be like a really expensive game to get into. I clicked the right one. 21A. 22B. So let's see what goes with. $22, $16, $15. So normally whenever I build stuff, I will follow the instructions to the letter, not deviate at all. The first time, and then the second time, if I build more, I will get very experimental and just go completely off the walls with it. The Custodes are a really good kit in 40k for doing that. You can kind of just build whatever you want with them, especially if you build other units. You can have like a really good split of guys. Like you can have a cloaked guy or like a guy with a little cape, and the axe halberd gun weapon instead of the spear gun weapon. The Terminators can have, like, they look really good with different spears and stuff, and they don't necessarily have the best in the kit that comes with them. So whenever you split stuff up that way, it looks quite nice, and you get like little unique dudes. So it's generally the way I tend to do stuff with me wargaming. I have like a whole box of Necrons that's kit bashes of other like older Necron kits with like the Immortals mixed with the Necron warriors and stuff, just to give me a bit of a wider variety of warriors. Actually, we'll just pick like 2 bodies, 2 heads, and we'll grab arm to go with this. Just do 2 at once because these are 2 furs. I don't know how. This is the first time I've done building on stream, so I don't know how interesting this will be for people. Building is so simple. I think a lot of people just sort of blast into it, but there are still a couple steps that you can do while you're building. Not necessarily speed it up, but just to kind of pick out details and stuff. It's also a good step to practice like color scheme planning. So while you're snipping, you can sort of start thinking about what color you want stuff to be when you're building it. I don't know. Did I snip out a head and then forget to put it down? No, I just didn't bother snipping it. Okay. And then I need the two alarms, 15 and 16 again. Shields. And 15. That's it. Okay. So because these are the same parts, I don't really have to be too worried about getting them mixed up. So doing it this way saves a bit of time. Just get it all filed and ready. It's going to be easier with the clippers. Use your clippers just to kind of snip some of the spray, but it's mostly on rounded stuff. Where the spray is on is really annoying. I'm using a set of clippers just to kind of get it to the point where you can just come in and just file away the excesses sort of easy. Another way you can do it is so for mold line there's like a tool you can get called a mold line remover, which is just like a knife, a rounded knife that just sort of fits in. Just bring it along like that. You can kind of do that with a file. It's not, mold line's really easy to get rid of, but I find that like just doing that, it's gone. You don't have to push that hard. And then getting into a habit of this helps you learn how to, if you want to do kit bashing, like what bits to snip and stuff. I have a friend who's quite good at kit bashing. There's some nice chaos models that he has that he did kit bashes on. Oops. He's the one with the flesh colored demon prints, which was is horrific. When you look at it, it's like a Lovecraftian nightmare. So it's absolutely horrible, and it works so well for like a demon prince. It's going to be easier to get rid of with the clippers. I don't want to sing Games Workshop's praises too much, but this kit's actually quite nice. And it's not too, there's not too many dupes on it. It's like 10 unique shields, there's 10 different heads that are all different. Just the duped bodies, and you don't really notice the bodies as much as long as the weapons, shields, and the heads aren't too. As long as there's some unique stuff on each body, and not to notice it. At least in my experience of the game, that's kind of how it goes. Because we were talking about it last week, I think I'm getting like recommended a lot of like Magic the Gathering stuff, and it just occurred to me that there are people who, even if they look at like a Magic the Gathering set and they're like, well, I don't think there's anything for that for me in this set. Like, I don't really like the art in it. I don't like any of the cards in it that have been released for it. And instead of going, okay, I won't buy this set, what they do is they just buy the set anyway. They like would buy a booster box anyway, and it's like, why? You just said there's nothing in there for you. It's like, yeah, but I just don't like, missing out on Magic the Gathering stuff. And it's like, yeah, but you just said there's nothing that you need. There's not going to be anything valuable in the like nine times out of 10 it's like one card in a set is like the valuable card in that set. If you're just purely going on like money stuff. If you're purely going on money stuff, my recommendation is don't invest in don't gamble on Magic the Gathering booster packs. Like, just buy the card as the single and then hold on to it until it gets its monetary value increased. Did I get these? I'm just gonna double check, make sure there's no. Yeah, I did. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's literally the sets are just like filler sets sometimes, and I was like, just looking at stuff because it's like the video is here's so many cards in this set that might be worth money now if you check your bulk, and it's like I think that like some of them are like you obviously get like a lot of cash from it, but it's like here's a card that was like 10p when the set came out that is now worth like £5 maybe, like as an increase, which isn't that much. And it's like, yeah, but you've had to hold, like, it physically takes up space to hold that, and you also bought a £200 booster box, and it's like, what, you've made 20 quid if you have a playset of a card that is worth like so many quid, or like so many pounds, It's like, yeah, and then as you say, it's like, okay, well, these idiots bought this set and it had like one good card in the whole set, so like, I don't think anybody plays Ether Drift. Like, I don't know anybody that bought cards from Ether Drift. I never see cards from Ether Drift on like recommendations for. We're gonna put the head on first before we put the shield on, just because I think it's gonna be easier to angle it. I don't see people talking about Ether Drift other than like Chandra doing the Akira slide. I keep bringing this up, but I hate that. Like, just she's doing the Akira slide just because. And it's like, okay. And there's nothing in that set. Like, occasionally there's like there were two or three scarecrows that were printed in it. That's the only stuff from Ether Drift I've ever seen, because scarecrows are awful, and any support they get is like greatly appreciated. So, like as an avid scarecrow enjoyer, hold this steady just so the glue can set. As an avid like scarecrow enjoyer, doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, and it's like it's not that at that point though. It's not like Wizards of the Coast doing it. That's like scalpers coming in and going like, oh, here's the one good card everybody wants. But it's always like it's always wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like the card that they on the promo. Do you remember that time? We both had a mutual friend who like bought a card on the promo because he thought it was going to be really good, and then it turned out that it was like the card he bought it for like 20 quid, and the card like dropped to like £1 or something. It was like ridiculous on like the promo. It was so funny. I was just like, oh my god, that's so. Why did you buy that before the set came out? And it's like, oh, everybody said it was going to be a really good card. I was just like, what? Oh yeah, it's like every time there's an Innistrad set, there's one new Scarecrow, like one or two new Scarecrows, and they're always rubbish. It's I don't know. I've never seen more fear of a trope that is like not that great, or like a tribe that isn't good. Like it's just as shit as Scarecrows. Even the new legendary Scarecrows aren't great. Like the crow, they don't play around the Scarecrow mechanic at all. It's just. One is just summon birds, because I understand like what they're referencing, but it's like Scarecrow decks tend not to play around birds. They tend to play around the Scarecrows. I'm okay with like bird tokens and bird interaction that way, but like, can we have a card that interacts with Scarecrows in a positive way, please? Like, I take artifact creatures. But I can't even remember what that card was, but it was like some big demon from... I don't even know what set that was. It was maybe the Vampire Werewolf set? I feel like it was a set before that. Oops, just flung that boy in. Yeah, but the difference between Scarecrow and Eldrazi is Eldrazi are good on their own. Like Scarecrows are shit on their own. Like there's no like even the new ones are bad. Like they're it's so funny. It's like such like they're so scared of Scarecrow tribal. They're like, no, we can't ever have this be good. And it's like I'd understand if Reaper Kings. I don't know. I guess it's a really good ETB, but he's like 5 mana. So it's like it takes forever to get him out, and then he does nothing. While he's out, he's like just like he's a beacon for please ping me off the board. Either counter me or kill me. Yeah, that's true. I just don't understand. You're 100% right. They think like, oh yeah, Scarecrows, that guy's an Eldrazi player in disguise. I found out the other day that Shrine in Magic the Gathering, the Shrine type isn't a creature type, it's an enchantment type. The shrines are they're normally like enchantment creatures, but I always assumed it was a creature type, but it means that you can't you can't like use a shapeshifter to get a shrine trigger. You have to specifically look for an enchantment that is a shrine. Which is new to me. Not that like I think I'm the only person in our group that's ever played a shrine deck. I don't think I played any. Well, I might have. But you know, I don't mind. Shrines are good. I like them. They're a ton of fun. They are a little finicky, but you can win with them. It is a snowbally deck. Oh. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I might know who someone is as well. I don't know why I don't just snip all the weapons and hands out at once, because it would be hassle. I got this right, yeah. Release. Right. I need to quickly run in and do something. It'll be 2 secs. Alright. As I thought, I'm probably going to have to end the stream. No, but I did think this was going to be where we'd be cutting off today. At least this time. So, yes, apologies. I had to go check something and it turns out I have to head on. My chair's fallen over. So yeah. Yeah, got a bunch done. So we got that nice little dwarf man finished. Got some stuff built up. I have like 30 more elves to build after this. I have all the stag guys done. They look pretty good. They're not stuck on the back, so I don't really want to show them. They'll be slip sliding all over the place. But yeah, usual spiel. If you've enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit subscribe and like, and you know, all the good stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you all later. Bye bye. All the little kids